Across South India, families pass down a specific, unquestioned rule about the Ramayana. If you lack the time to read all 7 books of the ancient epic, reciting one specific section brings the exact same spiritual blessings as reading the whole text. To see the anomaly in this practice, look at how the epic is built. In 6 of these books, the narrative centers entirely on Rama, but in the one book that is held up as spiritually complete on its own, the central deity vanishes from the action. For thousands of verses, the story belongs entirely to someone else. The protagonist carrying the complete weight of this chapter is Hanuman. The book is called the Sundara Kandam. Tradition tells us that Hanuman's mother, Anjana, affectionately called her son Sundara, the beautiful one. Sage Valmiki took that childhood nickname and applied it to this vast section of the epic. By doing this, the authors deliberately shifted the narrative center of gravity. They took the ultimate hero's journey and handed it completely and without reservation to the servant. Today, devotees explicitly turn to this exact book to invite good luck. Before starting a business venture, embarking on a long journey, or finalizing a wedding, people chant these verses to remove obstacles from their path. Yet the actual plot of the Sundara Kandam contains none of that domestic safety. It is a story of total isolation. Hanuman is trapped deep in enemy territory, operating entirely alone, and facing the constant threat of capture, torture, and execution. With no army behind him, he fights a solitary battle. He has to outsmart Surasa, the mother of serpents, and defeat Simhika, a shape-shifting demon sent explicitly to intercept and kill him. But hidden within his search of Ravana's palace is an encounter that explains the modern practice. While looking for Sita, Hanuman stumbles across an entirely different captive, Shani, the planetary deity of Saturn, locked away by the demon king. Hanuman breaks him out. In exchange for his sudden liberation, Shani makes a lasting theological pact. He promises that anyone who sincerely worships Hanuman will receive protection from his own punishing astrological transits. People do not use this book as a shield because it is a lighthearted tale. They use it because it perfectly models the sheer power of solitary, devoted determination, succeeding against impossible, terrifying odds. When the 12th century poet Kambar adapted the epic into Tamil, he reinforced this focus on the servant. We can actually prove his poetic priorities using structural math. This chart maps out Kambar's 10,000-verse Ramavataram. Notice the distribution. He dedicated more than half of his entire composition to the concluding war chapter, the Yuddha Kandam. Hanuman's heroism expands here, carrying the servant's narrative weight across 2 massive, continuous blocks of the epic. Kambar uses this space to reinforce a specific theme, one he also explores through a humble hunter chieftain named Guha. Guha offers his simple boat to Rama during the early, vulnerable days of exile. Hanuman offers his own body, courage, and life. Despite their different roles, Kambar elevates both commoners to the absolute pinnacle of devotion. He embeds a radical theological thesis directly into the structure of his work. Genuine, selfless devotion from a commoner or a servant commands the exact same reverence as the actions of aristocratic gods. This ancient text never became a dead historical artifact. It remains a thriving daily practice across South India today. In temple courtyards, you will find dedicated reciters, known as the Kamba Ramayana Mandali, maintaining the specific oral performance of these 12th century Tamil verses. Both community groups and state initiatives actively fight to preserve this chanting. They ensure that the specific cadence of the Sundara Kandam continues to ring out in temple halls, exactly as it has for 8 centuries. All of this brings us back to the central anomaly. Why does the most spiritually complete book of the Ramayana belong entirely to a servant? The tradition uses this structure to teach its ultimate lesson. The exercise of royal and divine power matters to the wider story, but it is not the only definition of true greatness. The ultimate spiritual triumph belongs to a servant. His solitary, selfless courage proved so profound, the tradition determined he had earned an entire book of the epic all for himself.